Are you ready for the election in the United States?
Oh my, yeah, it's going to be something to see this unfold. And also, maybe partially connected somehow is all of a sudden now also Hizbollah is trying to make a deal along with Hamas this week, both in the north and in the south. Looks like, is it going to be over or not? We'll talk about all that and everything else.
TGR News, broadcasting from the State of Israel.
Welcome back to TGR News.
Hello, hello.
Well, thank you guys so much. It is such a beautiful thing to be able to be a part of what you allow us to do here in the nation of Israel, to feed the people here, to feed God's people. And with your support, it is just so amazing. And it's also amazing when we're faithful and you do God's work and you live with faith, how it always works out. During war, during everything else, I still am able to come home and be able to do this. It's been, I've been off at war now, at least about 2 months. But I'm still able to come back every time, just in time to pass the food out.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing to see how it happens. And it's all because of you guys. You are so important to these people. Like Ola says, it is so true. You are making a difference. And a statistic of 1 out of 3 children going to bed hungry in the state of Israel every night. If you haven't been a part of this and you want to be a part of this part of the ministry, there are links below all of our videos to the Patreon page and to the Support Us page. Or just type in your web browser, thegoldenreport.com, and go to the Support Us page and figure out whichever way is easiest for you to send your support and be a part of such a beautiful thing here in the state of Israel. Doing what the Lord told us to do, to feed His people.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
It's His command.
And while you're there, underneath this video, also there's links to our Telegram channel.
That's right.
Which will keep you up to date for all the current events that happen right now, the real time in Israel.
That is so true. That is true. So if you might get them in the middle of the night.
Yep.
Well, let's get started.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. We started off this week with a reminder that the wars we are fighting in our northern border and our southern border is not the only war we are in. Another terrorist attack from within, an Israeli Arab working as a semi-truck driver, turned his truck into a weapon and turned it towards pedestrians at a bus stop, killing an elderly man aged 73 and injuring 40 others. And an armed Israeli citizen was able to stop the terrorist before killing even more people. So I mean, it seems like always, most of the times, it's an armed civilian who's there to take care of the situation.
Yes.
Before police get there.
Yes. I look at the Arab media. I'm always there checking what they're saying and how they praising this hero.
They call him a hero, yeah. Elderly.
Killing the settlers, the dangerous settlers who stole Palestine from them. Most of the 40 injured people are elderly. What is exactly, it's crazy.
Where's the hero? Yeah,
yes, where are the freedom fighters?
It's
just
crazy.
So
it
sad.
Really is. It is sad. Only if the word they use, Palestine, they still haven't woke up to understand that that's a word given by Romans. Italians as a disgrace to the state of Israel and the Israelis that lived here by calling the place the name of their enemies, which were the Philistines.
Yes.
Right? So anyway, they still haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah. And also he is an Israeli, the terrorist is an Israeli Arab, have Israeli citizenship. He's not oppressed, he's not depressed, he's not starving. Many of them live in very nice houses, which even Israelis cannot afford, right? It's just ideology, very destructive and hateful and poisoned ideology that they have from very young age.
Very true, very true.
Unfortunately. Well, after last week, Israeli airstrike in Iran, now Iran is threatening to strike back again. In the Israeli strike, we hit some of the factories where Iran built ballistic missiles, as well as one of the sites where they are enriching uranium for their nuclear program, plus where they mix the solid-state fuel for the missiles. Once again, no one is talking about why Iranian missiles land in Israel with no warheads and why Israel time after time flies over Iranian airspace freely. That's military operation that we did in Iran.
Yes.
Very, very sophisticated, and I don't know the right word for that, but it's like many Israelis are disappointed. I have to tell you the truth. We wanted the nuclear weapons to be destroyed. Many Israelis, if you see like the response after our strike, it was a very big disappointment in many channels that I saw. But thinking about how advanced the military operation that we did to fly 1,600 kilometers, I don't know how many miles is that, but it's like very far away. You have to refuel the jets and
in-flight refueling. Well, what you said there at the end is really what's important, and no one's talking about how these missiles that we keep seeing every time Iran attacks, landing in Israel that did not explode, meaning they didn't have warheads. And Israel, at the same time, Iran does have a very big air force, and they have fighter jets, and they have radars. And, we do have F-35s, but when we sent 100 planes to that attack, we don't have 100 F-35s. The refueler, the F-16s that go along with them, and all the other planes that go along with them, they get picked up by radar in Iran, and they don't scramble their jets and start a dogfight and try to get rid of our. No one's talking about that's strange. It's it's not like it happened once and it was a lucky mission. No, we've done it a few times now over Iran, and they don't fly their jets to meet us, to fight us. They don't, and the missiles that you've seen the pictures. We've all seen the pictures of entire ballistic missiles just intact landing in Israel, meaning when Hizbollah shoots their big missiles, they got big ones too. We don't ever find when Iron Dome shoots it out of the sky, you never find a huge, intact, looks like ready to launch again, big missile from Hezbollah. The reason is because there was a warhead on it, and when Iron Dome hit it, it blew the whole thing up. There's nothing left. But these just landing in Israel, right? Strange. No one's talking about it. I don't know what it means. I'm not saying I know anything. I'm just saying I just don't understand why no one's talking about it.
It's interesting. It's very good. It's a good point. But also, right now, by some reports, they don't have air defense anymore. By some reports, if we you're
talking about the S-300s the missiles that we took out. You're talking about that. But I'm not talking about their air defense. I'm talking about they have an air force. They have planes and pilots.
Yes, they have Russians also, Russian planes.
Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about.
Interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting. So,
but no one's talking about it.
Yeah.
But what you was talking about is also very true about how at the beginning Israelis felt like the attack wasn't much, but then we started to realize that it was. It was to be able to take out their ability, not only to make in one of the places where they enrich nuclear uranium, but also a place where they build the rockets, and also a place where they mix and make the solid state fuel to run the rocket. That's a big hit. Taking out all of that, that's setting them way back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they don't admit anyway.
Oh yeah, but we got satellite footage and everything to show it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, for the first time, Israel began to work on the demands for the end of the war with Lebanon. We gave them our demands, which are Hezbollah moves back north to the Litani River. Never comes further south than that. Israel reserves the right to operate in South Lebanon if needed. Lebanon will not have the right to make or purchase weapons. And UNIFIL, UN soldiers, will have to leave the south of Lebanon as well. Plus many other things. But those were just the main points that I thought was interesting. And what's even more interesting, Hezbollah sent a message back saying they would agree to certain things, not everything. So that means there's already a conversation going. But like we said, it's all connected. So I don't know how, we said, is it over? Is this war over?
Yeah.
Well, not yet. It's just the reason we said that, is it over, is because it's in the air. It's the first time since October 7th that it's in the air, like it's going to come close to an end.
Yeah.
I think we are at a crossroads where it's either going to come to an end with Hizbollah, with Lebanon and Gaza. It's going to come to an end. We get our hostages back and everything going to calm back down to where it was before, right? Or it's not. And and this thing with Iran is we're going to continue expanding until we finally decide to go out and wipe out everything Iran has, like we've been doing, for their missile capabilities and their attack capabilities. Who knows? Might even start attacking like the Air Force we're talking about. Maybe take out their Air Force at the same time.
Yeah. Well, we were witnesses to crazy events lately.
Yes.
What happened to Hezbollah? What happened to Iran? First time ever Iran shot rockets straight to Israel. First time ever we attacked in Iran too. It's like
exactly.
It's crazy events.
And then don't forget, first time ever the prime minister was the bedroom window of the prime minister.
Yeah. So interesting how it. But yes, you're right. The feeling, it's like maybe this is the end. Finally, the end of this whole Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthis, Iraqi, all together thing.
Yeah, it's in the air because, it's first time, this week was the first time we hear him talking.
Yes. Well, the elections in America are right around the corner and they have a direct effect over here in the Middle East. Both the outcome will have an effect, but also just the fact that there is an election has an effect as well.
Yes.
Israelis are so tense.
And it's exactly what we're talking about with the deal. Is it over?
Yes.
That's what it's also all connected.
It even was a part of the deal, not the deal, but talking about it, that we try to come to agreement before the elections.
Yes.
Did you notice that?
Because the American elections has a big effect over here.
Yes.
First of all, we was waiting for you to bring that up to finish the whole conversation. The main reason it ain't going to come to an end this week is very obvious, because they're going to wait for the election. Everything seems to be put on hold. Everyone's like, I don't know what's going to happen. I'll just be honest. It's the honest truth, and you can tell this to all the voters in America. The Israel wants Trump to win, and the enemies of the free world, the enemy of America and the state of Israel, wants Kamala Harris to win, right? That's what they want. They want the destruction of the United States. But for right now, Kamala Harris fits in better for them.
Yes.
She's weaker. Her policies are more lenient towards the Arab world and more strict to the state of Israel, right?
Yes.
So that's what they're holding out for, saying, "Ooh, they hope that Kamala wins, while we're over here, ooh, hope Trump wins." Right?
Yeah.
Right. So that puts everything on a hold. But now, if Trump wins, it will definitely, I'm not saying it will for 100%, but definitely put more, the Arabs will feel more pressure to make a deal, I believe. While Biden is still president before Trump takes office, they would be feeling like, we better hurry up and wrap this up before Trump comes in. Where if Kamala wins, we forget any deals, I believe.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I did a lot of talking. You got anything to say about that?
I agree with you.
Oh, well, that's good. Well, we had 7 deaths from rockets fired in Israel in the past 24 hours in 2 different places. Yeah. It's people get confused when they remember things like today, where 7 people got killed by rockets, right, and others injured and everything else. And then they hear the statistics of the Iron Dome at 98.5, I'm just making a number up, 98.5% success rate, taking out all rockets fired into Israel. And they don't understand how that works. And the reason is, we've talked about it before, the IDF has stated and sticks to it. The Iron Dome is only used for one thing, and that's to protect the population of the civilians of Israel. They don't, over open fields, they don't, to stop rockets going into open fields and making damage in the country, they don't use the Iron Dome. Over military bases, they don't use the Iron Dome. And over evacuated areas where civilians are not supposed to be, they don't use Iron Dome. Or military zones, they don't use Iron Dome. Only over where civilians are. That's the only place they use Iron Dome. That's the only thing it's for. Iron Dome is not for everything, for all of us, for me. Iron Dome is not for me. It's not for the IDF. It's not for the soldier. Iron Dome's for you. Yes, it's not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what happened today. Those people, unfortunately, they were in open field. They were working agriculture, and that's how they got killed.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Very sad.
Yes.
Yeah. Just goes to show you, we're still at war and things. God is so good to this nation, and even in the war, all the miracles we've seen. God fights along with Israel and does so many miracles here.
Yeah,
and Iron Dome is one of God's miracles. It really is. It really is. Well, even if we didn't have the Iron Dome, He'd still be the Iron Dome, just like He always was and always will be. Amen.
Amen to that. Yes.
Well, I'm glad I was able to. This is the second week now I've been here. I don't get used to it, because I'll be, but in hours or day, or at most a day or two from now, way before the next video, I'm going to be going back in to war. I'll be doing a couple things. Last week I told you about the Jerusalem Brigade, the Jerusalem Battalion. I got that mixed up. So the unit I've been in for almost 25 years now, which is hard to leave. But the only reason I'm leaving it is because I know God is in this and He wants me to take this Jerusalem Battalion. And so I'm going up. I'll be leaving now pretty soon, wrapping up things in my unit, what's going to be my old unit now, and getting started with the new battalion, getting things ready, organizing things. I get the soldiers here for the first time for a training run here pretty soon, and so I'll be going back into the war, but I won't be staying very long this time. I have a feeling you'll see me here back pretty soon, so you have to put up with me.
I like it. I like the idea.
Well, so that's interesting stuff, exciting things the Lord's doing. This Jerusalem Battalion, I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, amazing.
It's amazing that God put a believer in that situation. And I'm so humbled to be there, to be that chosen one, the one that was approached to do such a holy job, protecting the city of Jerusalem. The IDF gave me the city of Jerusalem, said it's your responsibility. Keep it safe. Amen, huh?
Amen. Yes.
Well, you got anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that some followers said that we deleting their messages, the comments. So we never delete any comment. Maybe YouTube doing something. So just leave your comment below. Say hi. Say what you're thinking about.
Yes.
If you have any question, we will be happy to hear from you. And also, we will see if YouTube actually deleting some comments. That's really strange, right?
Yeah, I don't believe they did.
Yeah, well, we never. We always like to have discussion. We're open for questions, and
Absolutely.
we like to see you hopping in and just leave a comment for us.
Absolutely. Well, don't forget to join us on thegoldenreport.com. And until next time,
Shabbat shalom.
God bless.